software producing company that run their applications under the umbrella term Creative Cloud. Their mission statement is to simply move the web forward while offering their web designers and web developers the best tools and services in the world. The product line you're about to see involves applications such as Photoshop, which is the #1 software product for graphic design. They have Premiere Pro for video editing, Illustrator for graphic creation, and After Effects for motion design, among many others. From the slide, you can clearly see Adobe pretty much cover every single software creative platform you can possibly have, which is their biggest strength. Why would you go elsewhere? Why would you go elsewhere when everything's in one place? Well, it's expensive. Not everyone can afford it, so they have to go to the competitors. The biggest threat to Adobe is exchange rates. If there's large fluctuations, they're going to make a big loss. However, they do have an opportunity through market development to dilute the share of their competitors. And this is mainly because they operate in an oligopoly. An oligopoly is a market where few firms dominate the market share. In this diagram, Adobe is in the center because they are the market leader. They have the most market share. Firms such as IBM, Oracle, and Episerver produce similar software products, and this market is constantly growing. So Adobe needs to be ready for that change to a monopolistic market. But who do they target? They target the creative professionals industry. So your graphic designers, your video editors, your web developers. But that's not to say you people who may not have experience can't use this software. It may be industry standard, but that's a good thing. By knowing how to use this, you have an edge on your people and others when you go for a job. This is the Boston Matrix, which is a tool Adobe used to find out how their products are performing. So Dreamweaver here, which is a web development tool, is currently a dog because it has low market share and low market growth. Whereas you have Audition, which is a question mark, and it's a sound editing software. It's a question mark because Adobe aren't sure if they should invest more on it to make it a cash cow, which is a constant revenue stream. They price using plan and discrimination pricing. Discrimination pricing comes from the fact that students actually get it for cheaper. Plan pricing comes from the fact you can get a full plan with all the applications or a plan with just some applications. Adobe do this because they understand and acknowledge the fact that not all the applications are needed by everybody. Premiere Pro is not needed by a graphic designer. They sell these products solely through their own website, and this is done for two reasons. One is to reduce fraud because it's proprietary software. The second reason is to boost their brand recognition. They're not going to go to Curry's PC World and get them to sell codes like they do for Microsoft. They want everyone to come to Adobe's website and buy. They market towards businesses, they market towards individuals, and they market towards students. And they do this through different marketing strategies. So to businesses, they'll emphasize the industry standard. To students, it's the affordability. And to individuals like me and you, it's the fact that they do not constrain our creative output. Like they say, if you dream it, then you can make it with Creative Cloud. Photoshop started development in 1987 and was introduced to the market in 1990, hence why the development stage was quite long. The introductory phase was quite successful, but then it skyrocketed to the #1 software creating platform in the world, and has remained there for 29 years, and it doesn't look like it's going to go into the decline phase anytime soon. Why is this? Well, Adobe are the software creating masters when it comes to extending their product lifecycle. They have never released a product that has been in the maturity phase for a year and then gone on to decline. They're all still in maturity. This happens because they always update their software products, and when a competitor releases a new product, Adobe just simply re-release one of their products with new product features and benefits. They acknowledge the education market, but do not exploit it enough, and this is where I think they can do more. By having more schools and universities taking out plans, they can have more pupils exploited towards the software products and more true friends, which are highly profitable and long-term customers. Adobe can experience those. They will do this through a thing called licensing. It's really that simple. I will actually come on and talk about licensing a little bit later on in this presentation. But essentially what will happen is a school or university will take out the plan and use the license to install it onto the campus server so that all the students can actually use it. But what can Adobe expect from this marketing strategy? Well, a huge increase in sales. Not simply because universities and schools are going to take out plans, but then whenever the pupils graduate, by having that experience of the software, they're going to then take out an individual plan for themselves. So in a class of 20 people, let's say 10 students graduate and buy the software, there's 11 buys. But the problem here is that it's industry standard software. So the pupils might find it quite difficult to use, and therefore they're going to spread some bad word of mouth. So Adobe need to make sure, and it is paramount, that the teachers are trained to the best quality they can be. So the information they pass down allows the students to have a good experience. Porter's 5 forces has an aspect called the bargaining power of buyers. And within this is substitutability, which is quite easy considering how many software products there are out there. But Adobe have the USP of putting all these applications under one roof, which is the Creative Cloud. And then the switching cost aspect comes in. Is it really worth your time to go and learn new software? Probably not. So the Boston Matrix looks like this if they carry out their promotion strategy. You see, Dreamweaver is now a question mark because more pupils are in web design and they're developing more web pages, so the market is growing. You have a product like After Effects becomes a star because it will work with Premiere Pro. How will Adobe finance this? Well, excluding obviously the advertising aspect, their primary expense should be the training of staff and teachers. Because if the teachers don't know how to actually teach the pupils how to use the software, the pupils then won't, upon their graduation, go and buy their own individual plans. So it is of paramount importance Adobe do ensure the teachers have the best training. Let's chat distribution. This is where I'll talk about licensing again. Here's a classroom, and how this will be set up is for a site license. So Adobe will sell their plans to schools and universities, and with a site license, the Creative Cloud will be installed onto the server of the campus. And within this then, the user will just simply log onto the server and they can access Creative Cloud. And so that's Adobe. They're the world leaders in creative software. They allow young people to be more expressive, they allow them to be more creative, and there's no limit. So just remember the one simple catchphrase that Adobe install into your head. If you dream it, then make it with Creative Cloud. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer.
Just make you cry, and I don't wanna fight with you.